Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Metafy, so click the link in the video description, it'll take you right to my page. What's up guys? I got another exciting team today. Might look a little bit familiar to some of you guys. This is an oldie but a goodie, and I don't normally like covering the same team over and over and over, but the meta has shifted in a way where I think this is actually a very, very solid team right now. But before we get into it, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. But yeah, let's get right into this video. So what am I talking about when I'm saying this team is pretty solid in this current meta? Well, what I'm saying is there's been a pretty big meta shift in the Ultra League Premier meta recently, and most of you guys can guess why. Let's talk about the Walrus in the room. Walrein, kind of a pretty big Pokemon in terms of impact and size, I guess. But this thing is a really good Pokemon, and it has been on, I would say, almost half of teams that I faced. So, what the triple counter team was originally supposed to do in the first place is kind of invalidate, like, look, we're looking at Walrein right now, is kind of invalidate these Pokemon that are weak to fighting. Give them nowhere to go. So, Pokemon like Empoleon, Pokemon like Walrein, they don't really have anywhere to go against this team. And if you can catch a team with those Pokemon, well, guess what? You're going to be looking pretty solid, I would say. So let's take a look at movesets. Toxicroak, standard moveset. Escavalier, we're going to run Megahorn. I used to run Aerial Ace, but that was mainly for Charizards and Talonflames. Nowadays, with the Megahorn buff, even if it's resisted, you can just throw it at something like a Dragonite, and it will do way more damage than the Aerial Ace ever would. And then Obstagoon, we're running Counter, Cross Chop, and Night Slash. Well, you can make an argument for Gunk Shots, so every Pokemon has some play against Fairies, but I really think that just the consistent damage from Cross Chop just trumps Gunk Shot 99% of the time. Just being able to hit like Poliwrath, Machamp, stuff like that for neutral, it's very nice. I did want to talk about Charmers a little bit too. That's another thing about the meta shift, because Walrein has kind of come in and made a lot of these flyers feel a little bit less safe, which is great for this team, by the way. It's also made the Charmers feel a little bit less safe. Now there's a neutral Pokemon that just beats these Charmers now. Walrein versus Sylveon, pretty decent matchup. Walrein versus Togekiss, extremely good matchup. And the one Pokemon on the team that really benefits from Sylveon replacing Togekiss is Escavalier, because hitting with Drill Run, Escavalier can actually beat some of these Fairies now, whereas versus Togekiss it was kind of a very miserable matchup. So now two of these Pokemon have some play against Fairies, and we'll see if we run into any of them. Yeah, Poliwrath lead, this is exactly where you want to see it. I'm going to stay in, and someone must have made a team about Poliwrath, because guess what? They're all running the same moveset, and that means you don't have Shield. No one's running Scald. They're just running the classic Ice Punch, Dynamic Punch, and Toxicroak isn't really too scared of either of them. You'll see a lot more Poliwrath leads in this video, and I'll show you how to play them out. In this case, we have a Trevenant swap, and Trevenant is a Pokemon that would give this team a lot of troubles in the lead, but with the swap in, Obstagoon can handle this very, very easily. Wins the 2v1 shield, the 1v0 shield, the 0v0, every even shield. It's just fantastic matchup here, fantastic matchup. I farm up a little bit extra, and they actually shield, which is good for me, but I kind of fall into the trap where I'm like, oh, I can beat them to the move, but yeah, it was never going to happen. Unfortunately, I do CMP, but I'm not going to shield. This is going to give me shield advantage to take out of this matchup. And then Poliwrath is going to probably come back and try and farm down. But I do get the boost here. I got very lucky in these first couple games, getting all my boosts out of the way for most of the rest of the time. I think the last game I also boosted, but they also boosted on me. In this case, my goal is just to take out this Poliwrath. I just want to get rid of it. I'm going to throw the Mud Bomb. And, well, it doesn't do quite enough damage, so I will shield up my Toxicroak. A little bit of a mistake. In comes Nidoqueen. My goal here, grab a shield and then swap into Escav. If they don't shield, throw two Mud Bombs. They have to shield, so they will shield the first Mud Bomb. I'm going to come with Escav, and Drill Run is going to be enough to take out Nidoqueen. And my opponent knows that too, so I save us both some time. And just hit that top left button. Yeah, I noticed someone in the YouTube comments of the previous video also mentioned triple counter team, so we're on the same page. I was planning on running this next. I didn't want to put out that double week to fighting in the back team first, you know, for the easier games, of course. But we do have a Sylveon lead. You can see I'm charging up to 10 counters, and then I was going to bait. If you bait, you can get two shields or take down the Sylveon, but instead they try and catch, and that's also why you throw with good timing. They try and catch, and I wasn't planning on throwing anyways, so or then, so there was no catch to be had. I'm going to bring my Obstagoon in because it's the only Pokemon on my team that can't really deal with Sylveon at all into the Swampert. And honestly, I don't really care if I go down here with the Obstagoon. They shield their Swampert. That's even better for me. That's one less shield for the Sylveon. And I'm going to get another boost. Yeah, this was crazy. The first 3 games of this playing the team, it's like kind of like a drug dealer or something. They give you the first one for free, and then you're kind of hooked on the boost, and then you just don't get the boost anymore after that. So definitely give me the first 3 for free in this case, and they're gonna bring Sylveon back in. A bit of a tough situation here. Not gonna shield the Psyshock. I'm glad they threw it at my Escav so I didn't have to shield my Toxicroak, but I will throw this Drill Run. They're gonna tank it, and I will get to another Drill Run, but I don't want to throw it. I want to save that Drill Run. I'm gonna swap to my Toxicroak to deal this Mud Bomb, or throw the Mud Bomb instead, save the bigger charge move for whatever's in the back. And they're going to come in with Walrein. So usually when they're very hesitant to come in with that third Pokemon, it's something weak to fighting, and that's always what you want to see. I'm going to throw the big nuke here, because if they don't shield, well, that's fine. If they do shield, also fine, right? Whereas if you bait, if they don't shield, you're in some trouble. So throw the big nuke. If they shielded, I have a Mega Horn ready to go, and they actually swap into Swampert. I'm able to take them out, throw my Drill Run here. And I'm at 2 Drill Runs, so I figured I would throw. Otherwise, the counter down would be okay. I wasn't quite sure how many Icicle Spears they had. And we actually CMP tie there, so if they did have that second Icicle Spear, this game is even closer than expected. But Walrein was going to go down. Escavalier going to be able to take it out. And a new bug, question mark, or feature? Never sure with Niantic. But I always think I'm lagging out at the end of games now. And now there's like that power-up thing until the next game starts. It's kind of really weird. Toxicroak leads, so if you watched the last video I put out, same thing. This is pretty tough. It kind of comes down to whoever sneaks the most. And because my Toxicroak is a 13, 15, 15, it's going to lose CMP. So they sneak, and I don't. It's pretty much game over for me already in terms of this lead scenario. And I don't sneak again. So I literally cannot win this lead anymore. It's impossible. I am still going to try and... Yeah, and they get another sneak through too. And I'm fast move denying. I'm trying my best. But I think they just live a little bit closer to the servers than I do. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to let my Toxicroak go down here. I'm going to bring in the Escav. Obviously, you can't bring the Obstagoon into this. And the problem here is this Mud Bomb is going to deal an absolute ton of damage. But I'm hoping, like most Toxicroak leads, that it's harboring some Pokemon that are weak to fighting in the back. And potentially, this is the team I just put out. And it's starting to look more likely as we see the Walrein come into the Escav. I'm going to swap to try and catch a move. It looks like maybe a little bit of a refund. You can never really tell if your opponent gets a refund or not. But swapping to the Obstagoon brings out that Empoleon. And this is what you should do against the Empoleon and the Zero Shield. Throw that Cross Chop. Tank the Hydro Cannon. And just farm all the way down. Taking down that Empoleon. Big deal, because I'm going to end with a move to throw the Walrein. And almost another one. But we CMP, right? This Walrein's going to take on my Obstagoon. And then my Escavalier has to be able to get to that Drill Run. And it's going to just be able to get there. But is it enough? I don't think Drill Run's enough. Going to need one more counter. Take down that Walrein. And pick up yet another win. So, like I said, lots of Walruses. Lots of Walruses about in Ultra Premier right now. I mean, and for good reason. Walrein is a really good Pokemon. It's okay in Great League, I think. It's pretty good in Great League, but it's amazing in Ultra League. And that's why this counterculture has kind of come out against the Walrus. Nobody's fighting for the environment anymore. Everyone's trying to take out the seals, take out the Walruses. Another Poliwrath lead, so we'll see what happens this time. I go straight for the Sludge Bomb. I think this is a solid play. The more I've played it, the better I feel about it. And then because this is their fighter, I assume, I don't feel bad about just letting my Toxicroak go down here. Well, obviously it doesn't go down. It beats the Poliwrath, but it's going to go down to whatever else comes in. In this case, I just throw my Mud Bomb right away. I probably could have gone away with one more counter, but I wasn't sure what was going to come in. And good thing I didn't switch. Escavalier absolutely cannot be going against this Typhlosion. Typhlosion's going to throw Blast Burn. I'm going to throw with good timing, though, so I don't want to CMP and waste my energy there. They swap into Muck, and this is exactly what you want to see. Escavalier versus Muck is a pretty solid matchup. I probably should have shielded the first move. People usually throw the Dark Pulse, and Dark Pulse 2 shots, whereas Thunder Punch does not. So shielding the first one versus Muck, probably a better strategy, but this was my first time playing it. Gonna get to the next drill run, see what they want to do. Gonna get a little bit of a spam call while I'm hitting the bubbles. And then I'm gonna no shield this one as well. I want to save the shield for Obstagoon. I think my Obstagoon can deal with this Muck at this point. And what I absolutely don't want to happen is to get my Obstagoon farmed down. Sorry, my Escav farmed down, and then for them to bring all that energy into the Obstagoon matchup. So the goal here, letting your Pokemon go down and saving a shield, honestly, is a great play most of the time. And my Obstagoon going to be able to handle this Mug. Yeah, they're going to get to a move, unfortunately, but I don't mind shielding this up as long as I don't let this Typhlosion get to a move. And they're actually going to just quit out here, because if that Typhlosion gets a farm down on Escav, I'm in some trouble. So I think the best play for my opponent there was actually just no shielding anything. And we're going to pick up a 5-0. 5-0 to start out with this team. That's when I knew it was kind of legit again. It felt just really good right off of the bat. So we're going to have some tougher games this time. I'm sure of it. Electivire lead. Did I play the same guy in the last video? Because you don't see a lot of Electivires. You start to remember them. And it's just a very spicy Pokemon. Ball Charge is incredibly hard. I have to shield. And I'm hoping that maybe they think I'm playing the same team as last time. But I'm not. I'm playing Obstagoon, and I do not have a good answer for Gliscor, so I am in a lot of trouble here. Probably should have just shielded the Earthquake, because there's no way they're going to bait on this first one. But at the same time, going down shields against this Electivire, it's not a winning proposition either. And because I don't have that hard answer to their backline, it's going to be a little bit sketchy. Gliscor's just going to throw Night Slash. And they get the boost. So unfortunately the boost doesn't allow me to get to the Night Slash there and take out the Gliscor. And it's also going to be able to deal a ton of damage to my Escav. Unfortunately, I will have to shield here. They did build up to the Earthquake, so I have to make sure that's shielded. But at the same time, this game is essentially over. The only chance I had was if they were to bring in the Electivire there. But they did not. And then I swap, and I completely forget that Toxicroak loses CMP, and I get Brave Bird out of existence. So, bit of a mistake. If I had thrown the Mud Bomb there, maybe I have a chance. Or, like, before that, maybe I have a chance. At least burn a shield, and then Escav can maybe deal some damage to that Electivire, but it wasn't meant to be. And Crobat lead, this is probably what you guys are all going to be writing about in the comments. What about Crobat lead? What can you possibly do against Crobat lead? Well, you swap the Escav in, and guess what? People love swapping out because they want to save that Crobat for the Toxicroak. So Escav comes in, and because they swap in a little bit late, right? Because I swapped first, I'm going to be able to win this matchup in the 2-shield. In fact, this matchup is exactly how I'd want to play it. Later, you can see how to play against it. A player plays against me very, very well in the Escav counter switch scenario. I actually build up a little bit more because I've been counting their moves and I got a sneak and they didn't. So I'm going to throw the drill run, win switch, and now we're in the 0 shield. Unfortunately, my Escav is not going to make it to a move, but Obstagoon can handle this Crobat. It's not the best matchup, obviously, but these Poison Fangs kind of add up. I'm hoping they switch out, but obviously, well, actually they do. To help me out, I'm able to clear that Poison Fang debuff. They come in with the Walrein. I just throw the Icicle Spear. They're not going up for the Earthquake. They're not about that kind of life. I'm going to throw the Sludge Bomb, and honestly, I should have undercharged this. Throwing the full Sludge Bomb was pretty dumb because now this Crobat is going to get a full farm down. I do get to the Mud Bomb, and this extra bit of damage could be very useful. Obstagoon will need to get to a couple of moves here. I do have a lot of energy on this Obstagoon, and this Crobat can't nuke me. Double, triple resisting, actually. The Shadow Ball, I'm throwing with good timing, so I'll throw one counter, then my Night Slash, just to make sure they don't sneak moves. Then once again, throw one counter and then Night Slash. Well, they get to their move, so I don't throw the Night Slash yet, but one more counter than the Night Slash. And hopefully this Night Slash is enough. It's going to be very close to taking out that Crobat, and yes, it is going to be enough. So Crobat lead, vanquished. That is not a problem for this team. That's a lie. That's kind of a problem for this team, but there are definitely ways to play around it. Definitely ways to play around it for sure. Empoleon lead, well, you'll love to see it, but the problem is it's Empoleon, Double Dragon, so this is a blast from the past. Like, wait, what is happening right now? Is it 2020? 2019, we're playing triple counter versus Empoleon Double Dragon. I haven't played this in a long time. I wasn't quite sure how to play it. I decided to stay with the Toxicroak no shield, and then swap into my Escav to clear the debuff and race this Kingdra to a move. Gonna take it out with a big drill run here. The problem is Escav is also kind of my best answer for Dragonite. So I'm just hoping that they kind of come in with that. And they do. And it's actually, they play this pretty well. Go for the Mega Horn here. And they shield it up and just farm down. And this is really scary because even though I have 2 shields, my Obstagoon, well, it doesn't it doesn't tank those Dragon Claws very well, and they're almost certainly going to get one off. I'm going to go into the Obstagoon, I think, and then catch. Is that what I do? I played these games today, so I should remember. Yeah, so I'm trying to catch right away, come with the Obstagoon, tank it on the Toxicroak. There's my 3rd shield right there, because I will definitely need it. This Dragonite is loaded, pretty much 100 energy. They're actually at the move already. I shield up Dragon Claw incorrectly, I learned afterwards. Hydro Cannon will deal more damage than Dragon Claw from Shadow Dragonite. So if you do have to make this decision in the future, save a shield for the Empoleon. But we're going to play this 0 shield Empoleon matchup just like you've seen before in this video. Just going to farm it all the way down after tanking this Hydro Cannon. And then I just have to land this Night Slash on the Dragonite. Nice and easy. Yeah, so pretty close game. Even though there's an Empoleon on the team, Dragonite is a pretty big problem for almost the entire team, and Kingdra is also kind of very annoying as well. Swapping into Escav right away, you might get debuffed by the Octazooka, and then you can lose that matchup too. So, alright, next game, we have Poliwrath lead. So another Poliwrath lead. We'll see how this one plays out. We're getting like every single Poliwrath lead scenario here. So you're going to know exactly what to do. They're going to throw right away. I don't get the sneak. That's okay. Ice Punch kind of hurts, but not that much. Gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. I throw it right away because I see them desync. It sucks that you have to take advantage of people like that. And they shield. So here's the situation where they shield. Gonna no shield this Ice Punch. I know I live it. And gonna just get to this Sludge Bomb. Second Sludge Bomb. Do they want to go down 0 to 2 shields? No, they don't. So I'm gonna win switch and shield advantage here. They've got the Muck in the back. Gonna bring out the Escav with a shield advantage now too. And it's looking pretty solid right now. Dark Pulse, like, I don't learn. I'm like, I should shield this Dark Pulse next time. But then I don't shield it. So I figured I might as well save shields for Goon. But if there's a Fairy in the back, I'm in a lot of trouble. This time I will shield. But once again, I end up shielding a Thunder Punch instead of a Dark Pulse. So I'm going to throw another Drill Run. I'm surprised the first one didn't KO, but that's okay. They shield up, and I'm going to make a catch on a Goon. My Obstagoon can easily tank this Thunder Punch. I definitely don't want to spend another shield on a Escavalier, and I'm glad that I burned their last shield. And are we going to see what's in the back? No. But I would bet money that it's a Walrein. Like, if people are quitting without showing you their last Pokemon, it's like 99% it's just a Walrein. They're like, oh, what is the point of running this? Hey, Gliscor lead. I'm going to come with the Escav, and in comes the Machamp, so this is not great. I like to counter until they throw Cross Chop, because once they've committed to the Cross Chop, they can no longer farm as much as they'd like. And then I'll go for the Drill Run. I've learned actually that if you can only get one move off, I think Mega Horn might be better. Don't quote me on that yet. Look it up yourself, because I'm not that sure. Either way, this is a great situation. We won switch advantage. This Machamp has some farm, but at the same time, Toxicroak is kind of the Pokemon to tank these moves from Machamp. It resists both charge moves, even if it's running payback, also resisted. And I'm locked in against the Gliscor anyways, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go up to the Sludge Bomb actually, because I know this is going to be my one chance to get the Sludge Bomb off on the Gliscor. And then in comes the Escavalier, and yeah, that's kind of it. I stay in, but it doesn't really matter. My win condition is them shielding this one and me getting the boost, which not the case. So they're running double counter better than triple counter, it turns out, because their lead is very, very anti-fighting and my lead is a fighter. So it is what it is. Yeah, not too much you can do if someone's running a team like that, that's for sure. Gonna pull out 3 wins still. I don't think there were a lot of good leads in that set. There's that Poliwrath, which is a pretty good lead, but besides that, well, Empoleon too, but kind of some pretty rough leads there for sure. Crobat. Oh, there's the Walrus. Walrein staying in. Gonna go for the catch, actually, because I got to swap anyways. We're playing ABB. I'm actually surprised they threw right away. I thought they were going to go for the Earthquake for sure. But picking that up is a big deal. Gliscor comes in, which is huge for the Toxicroak. I do not want to have that thing against the Toxicroak at all. Night Slash does a little bit of damage. Not too much, but Mega Horn is going to deal more than you think. This is resisted. Does that look resisted to you? That doesn't even look that resisted. That's a lot of damage. Gliscor will be able to take out Escav, but at this amount of HP, doesn't really matter if they get some farm. Obstagoon going to be able to take out Gliscor before it gets to a material move. So Earthquake. Wait, am I wrong? No, they just throw the Night Slash. So that means I can farm up even more if I wanted to. Probably would have been smart too, but I decided not to. So I'm going to throw that Night Slash. In comes the Escavalier, and I kind of have to beat both of these Pokemon now with Toxicroak. So Escavalier in the back, they obviously couldn't switch it into my Escav because I beat them with the energy advantage. So they were forced to come in the Gliscor, and this is where ABB really works. Going to shield up the one Icicle Spear there, and I'll throw this Mud Bomb just to force them to either shield or take out the Walrein so I don't have to shield. And then in comes Escav, and this is one of those Pokemon where you're only really scared of the charge move. And as long as you hit one move on the Escav, which is one Mud Bomb, you can win this matchup, no problem. So shield up the Drill Run. I thought about switching right when I got to the Mud Bomb to the Obstagoon, but Escav wins CMP, so that might come back to bite me. Toxicroak's going to be able to make it to the move and take down that Escav. And pull out yet another W for this team. Alright, next lead, we have Dragonite. Ooh, Shadow Dragonite lead. Not the greatest. Going to swap right into Escav, which is unfortunate because it's one of our better counters. In comes their own Escav, and I think this is the player who played this matchup extremely well. They get a Move Sneak, which really helps. So now they're actually quite a bit ahead on damage. And I don't get a Move Sneak. So they, look, my Escav is like a ton HP lower than theirs. I throw this Drill Run. I'm still feeling pretty good about this because I have no idea how much Drill Run does to another Escav. And they no-shield it. And get to the move. Incredible. So they played this really well. I have to let my Escav go down. I can't afford to go down 2 shields to Shadow Dragonite. It's just going to Draco my Obstagoon or Hurricane it. I can't let that happen. So they're going to come in with a Caesar in the back. I've heard this is the Yonkis team. Very exciting. But unfortunately, the Caesar is lined up on my Obstagoon, and I kind of need my Obstagoon to deal with the Dragonite as well. So I shield. They bait with the Night Slash. I actually cannot believe they just baited me there. I even was talking, I played this on stream, and I was talking about how I shouldn't shield this because they're almost certainly going to bait me with the Night Slash, and then it happens. Dragonite gonna throw a move, and my Obstagoon just going to be a Dragon Claw. Doesn't quite take out my Obstagoon. Going to throw one more counter in Night Slash. I guess I didn't need to throw the counter, but might as well get that free damage. And I'm going to come in with a Toxicroak, and guess what? Toxicroak is laying a serious hurt on this Dragonite. Ever punched a dragon before? No? Well, Toxicroak has, and he's going to almost take Dragonite down, and because Dragonite is running a 3-turn move, my Obstagoon's counter is going to register before that Dragonite's Dragon Tail. So throwing that one counter before the Night Slash won the game. That's a mechanics win. It's a, hashtag mechanics win. Those always feel the best. Toxicroak lead. Let's see if I can sneak more moves this time. Let's see if the servers favor me. Pray to the servers. You can see I'm tapping with many fingers on the screen this time around. They throw the move, but I get my move through. So I'm feeling pretty good. I go for the piggyback here because if I don't do it, they can actually throw their next move, and then I go down 2 shields. And then I'm able to take down their Toxicroak. And that's great. And I swap out all this game. So in comes Shadow Ampharos. And if I'd not swapped, this would be much better because I had a Mud Bomb ready to go. Ready to just hit this Ampharos with. But instead I swap into an Escav, which turns out Thunder Punch hits it way harder than I expected. Shadow Ampharos actually deals a ton of damage. So I think this Pokemon is super underrated in Ultra. I actually throw right away and they get a full Volt Switch sneak through. So that's a bit of revenge for me getting that counter sneak at the beginning. But yeah, I don't shield and I go right into that Obstagoon. They still get another Thunder Punch. This Ampharos is dealt like 250% of Pokemon's HPs. They're actually at another... I don't even know where they got all this energy. I have no idea. And then they come with the Walrein. So somehow I'm still going to lose this game. Oh, sorry for the spoilers, guys. I'm just so upset. You can probably tell every time I'm like, oh, this game again. It's like, I'm just so upset about it. But unfortunately, this Walrein is going to make it to a move. All it needs is the Icicle Spear, and it gets the Earthquake. So, yeah, this player got a ton of energy somehow. I don't even really realize what happened with that Ampharos. That Ampharos just completely carried the game. And this team is honestly pretty good against Ampharos, I thought. Until then. Yeah. Well, scary stuff. Either way, another Dragonite lead, so we're not looking at a lot of good leads this set. And in comes the Escav, so this is a pretty common team, it looks like nowadays. Niantic is really spreading the gospel of Scizor here. And once again, this player lets through the Drill Run. So I'm going to shield. I want Switch here. I would love to get my Toxicroak on the Scizor. I throw a Drill Run right away. My Escav's IVs aren't that great, so I do win CMP a decent amount of the time. And this time, the shield snare is 1 to 2. So a bit of a different one. It's also not a Shadow Dragonite. In this case, they're going to go for the move instead of the farm down, which makes a little bit of sense here. I try to get the Drill Run. It's not going to happen. And then Obstagoon going to come in to the Dragonite. This is obviously what we want to see. And I'm going to line up the Toxicroak onto the Scizor, so I'm just really hoping... They threw right away, so I'm like, it's a Night Slash? No, it's an X-Scissor. They're actually running X-Scissor on the Scizor. Oh my god, I didn't even make the connection there. But because of that, Toxicroak doesn't have to worry about a return or a Iron Head or something like that. They can tank up these moves, no problem. The Dragonite actually comes in and throws a Dragon Claw before I can get to the Sludge Bomb. But I don't know if that was the right play. I think the farm down would have been much scarier considering I only have 1 shield remaining. My Obstagoon does have quite a bit of energy, and I outpaced the Dragonite, so it's all going to come down to, does my Obstagoon deal enough damage with 1 Night Slash to this Dragonite? Place your bets now, because I honestly don't even remember if I win this game or not. I can't even spoil it. So Night Slash is going to come out. It's going to deal enough damage to this Dragonite. No, it's not. And Obstagoon is going to have to tank up this Dragon Claw. And it does live it. And it lives 2 more Dragon Breaths. So, very surprising result, even to me, which is kind of questionable considering I played this game less than 12 hours ago. Alright, next game, we have a Toxicroak lead. And this is, once again, will I sneak some moves? You can see the 3-finger tap technique coming out. And they're playing it the same way as last time. I do get my move through. So, looking up already. And I'm going to go for my Mud Bomb. For the same reason, I don't want them to be able to win CMP there and then force me to go 2 shields down. They get their move back. So now we're at even moves again. And I'm trying to sneak, and I don't. So we are at even moves. And I noticed their CP of their Toxicroak. It's not maxed. It's 2482. I can win CMP. No, I can't. So it turns out the 13 IV is much more detrimental than I thought. They'll probably have a 15 IV one in attack, and they're just missing some defense IVs or something. So I make a pretty big misplay there. Should have just caught the move on Escavalier. But this time I decided to farm all the way down. See how this one works out. In comes the Walrein. What a dumb play. I go for the Drill Run. I should have went for the Mega Horn. Mega Horn hits way harder against most things. I guess I do get to 2 Drill Runs. Yeah, maybe I made the right play. I'm too hard on myself. And in comes the Alolan Muck in the back. So this is a bit tricky. If this was Snarl, Obstagoon would be all over it. But unfortunately, this is Acid Spray. And my opponent has to play this in a very specific way to win. And I think, do they? I don't remember. Acid Spray comes out. That's the first step. Of course, Acid Spray comes out. They can't throw Dark Pulse first. But I'm just going to try and throw these Cross Chops as much as I can. Unfortunately, if they do get to another move, and they win CMP, which is unfortunately IV dependent. So I lost 2 IV dependent CMP ties in this matchup. And they get that Dark Pulse off. It doesn't quite take out the Obstagoon, but it's definitely enough that this Walrein can take out both the Obstagoon and the Escavalier here. So, well played to my opponent. They played very well, actually. But losing 2 IV dependent CMPs in one game is pretty soul crushing, not gonna lie. But that's the end of the video. Team performed very well, actually above my expectations when I picked it up in the first place. Almost made it to expert. Spoilers, I didn't make it to expert. Not with this team, with maybe the team that will be coming out tomorrow, if I can string together another set or 2. But yeah, very excited to reveal that one as well. Anyways, that's the video. Please, if you like this video, hit that like button, leave a comment if you didn't, or hit that dislike button or something. I don't know. I don't want to favor only the likers or something like that. But I appreciate that you guys took the time to make it through and watch the whole video. Love playing this team. Counter is a busted move. It needs a nerf. Well, no, it doesn't, because steel types are too strong. But it is the best move in the game. And you know what? If you got it, if it's the best move in the game, flaunt it. Run 3 of them. Why not? Thanks for watching.